On Larry King Now, the cast of Enlisted. Geoff Stults, Chris Lowell, and Parker Young.
Frankly, it's the first time you've seen really a military comedy on television in sort of like a post-9/11 world, which I think is a great, refreshing, healing thing to see.
You traveled to Fort Bliss in El Paso to boot camp before your filming began?
Well, we made the decision amongst ourselves, like, all right, we're here and this sucks, but we're just gonna suck it up and we're gonna do our best, and they appreciated that we didn't quit.
Plus,
You're wearing a gray sweater.
Yeah,
we'll talk about this later, but
We're gonna talk. Parker wanted to wear matching sweaters today because
And I couldn't find
he thinks he lives in Xanadu.
take this because they'll never be back. All next on Larry King Now. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Welcome to Larry King Now. We're joined by the stars of the new Fox comedy Enlisted, a show centered around Pete Hill, a U.S. Army sergeant who, while deployed in Afghanistan, is unwillingly sent back to a Florida rear detachment Army base, where he must live and work with his younger Army brothers. They are Geoff Stults, starring as Big Brother Sergeant Pete Hill, Chris Lowell, who plays Derek Hill, the overly sarcastic middle sibling, and Parker Young. I always wanted to have a name like Parker Young.
Ah, thank you.
Playing baby brother Randy Hill. In its first season, Enlisted airs at 9 p.m. Friday nights, Eastern Time on Fox. We're deep into this first season. Give me the storyline, quick recap where we are.
Well, Mr. King, first of all, I think there was
Call me Larry.
Larry? Okay. Larry, I think that there was
He doesn't like that you said that it centers around my character. That's already bothering him.
Senator.
He's already having a meltdown. This is pretty
read my mind.
Parker's
You read
course
my
here.
mind.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
You're jealous of his part?
No, I'm
Just a life.
just keeping the audience.
Jealous borderlines with like kind of like a single white female,
little
the
bit.
male version of
It's
it.
Kinda wants to
like
wear my
actor
skin.
studio. Do you believe your brothers? Is that it?
Parker definitely believes her brothers. When we were doing the pilot, Parker was trying to convince us all to share a hotel room together. He wanted us to
It
stay
wasn't
in the
enough that we
barracks.
lived right next door to each other
He
in the room.
couldn't handle it. I think like when Parker goes home at night, it takes him about 3-4 hours to realize that the
Give
cameras
me
are
the
still
gist of
rolling.
the story. I'll go back to normalcy
Sure.
here.
Yeah.
Three brothers. Sergeant Pete Hill, the character that I play, he's a kind of, I guess, a soldier of fortune. Gets in trouble, has a disagreement with his commanding officer, and gets demoted, sent back stateside. And his punishment is he gets put in charge of a group of, I guess, a unit of maybe not the best soldiers that the Army has. And coincidentally, my two younger brothers are in that unit. So we kind of have the dynamic of boss at work, big brother at home, and all the antics that ensue.
How did you get the role?
How did I get this part?
He's a good kisser.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
part.
a lot of bribes.
Yeah.
A lot of bribes, a lot of blackmail. Really, I played dirty.
You had to
I also
sleep with the director.
That's right.
Yeah.
All of them. There's a lot of directors.
A lot of
television.
them.
Like 13 right now.
than you think.
No, it was honestly, I just went and auditioned last year, read with Geoff, who, as much as I hate to admit, was actually really nice to work with.
I love this part.
And yeah, it was pretty quickly after that I got really kind of hooked on the show.
And how did you get it, Parker?
Similar process. I think he was a big reason.
You all auditioned?
I auditioned, yeah.
Did you have to audition? Or did you
No,
got
Geoff
it?
doesn't audition anymore.
Yeah, that if I audition, I don't get jobs.
Yeah.
And then they realize my inadequacies. Yeah.
So the basic problem day to day is you putting up with your two brothers, right?
Yeah, it worked out kind of like, we saw a lot of guys. Once they cast one guy, it's me, and they have to kind of find a couple of gentlemen that could play my brothers. And we saw a lot of great actors and good people, but these guys, Chris got the job because he's the best actor that we saw.
Is he?
Far and away.
No doubt.
Yeah. Parker got the job because he is the character.
Right. Yeah.
And mostly he's humble.
That's
Modesty is my best trait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you described the show as not so much about the military as about family, right?
Yeah, it's definitely
Military is the setting.
Yeah. The creator of the show, Kevin Beagle, comes from a military family, and he also comes from a family of 3 brothers. So we're kind of playing him and his 3 brothers. And he wanted to create a show kind of encompassing both of those things, and he came up with Enlisted, and it's kind of just we like to describe it as Stripes meets Police Academy meets Scrubs.
Sure.
Something along. I just
Let's
made all
see a
3 of
clip
those up. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
let's
Let's
watch
do
a
it.
clip from Enlist Think Like This.
I think their gut response is to not like it before they watch it. They think we're making fun of the military, but once they watch it, they get a kick out of it.
I think we've got like a pretty die-hard supportive following. I think once the military realized that we weren't laughing at them but laughing with them, it was great. And I think frankly it's the first time you've seen really a military comedy on television in sort of like a post 9/11 world, which I think is a great, refreshing, healing thing to see. And people are excited about it.
Bilko, I guess, being the most famous.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Yeah.
Your character has post-traumatic stress syndrome?
Yeah, that's one thing.
That's not a funny part of the show.
Definitely not the funny part of the show. And that was important to Kevin and Mike, the showrunners, and myself. We were trying to do our best to portray a soldier with PTSD in a way that they really are. It's not, I think when we first started to learn about PTSD, everybody was kind of lumped into one category and just sort of, you were that. And what we've realized is that everybody is affected differently by it. And it's not just, oftentimes I think, and part of the reason the military is nervous about television and film is because they're often portrayed inaccurately. Like if you have PTSD, you're just violent, and that's not necessarily the case.
You have a friend who has it.
Yeah, actually my best friend, I've been his best man twice. He's 4 tours and suffers from PTSD. He's the person that I talked to about this, and after one of the episodes we first started dealing with this, all I got was a text that's at 9 o'clock Eastern, 9:30 Eastern, that just said thank you. And we've gotten a lot of reaction from soldiers that have, via social media, that said, after watching your show, I've decided to go get help. And also things like, watching your show with my children has helped me explain to them what I'm going through. So I mean, before that, I never really thought that being an actor meant much, other than just maybe a couple giggles every now and again. But
That's great.
yeah.
Were any of you in the military?
We all have family who have served. That was, I think, actually another big thing for Kevin, for the creator. I think he wanted us to have siblings of our own and also just sort of have some important personal connection to the military to help establish what these stakes are.
More with the cast of Enlisted right after the break. Stay with us. We're back with Geoff Stults, Chris Lowell, and Parker Young, the cast, the lead cast of Enlisted, airing 9 p.m. Friday nights Eastern Time on Fox. Now, what was the reason that you were sent back to the States?
I got in an argument with my commanding officer and I knocked him out.
You hit him?
Yeah. So in real life, I think I'd probably be court-martialed and thrown in the brig, but we went and used a little dramatic license for the sake of the show.
Let's take a peek at what happened.
All right, which one of you idiots denied my backup? Oh, shoot, you're old. Like Larry King and Cam. I can't punch Larry King.
I'm also a colonel. You signed on to get shot at. So get out of my face, candy ass.
Huh. Maybe I can't punch Larry King. Suddenly I'm thinking consequences.
There you have it.
Oh, boy. Well,
you didn't
what do
realize
you know?
that you got our show picked up.
But you never thought you'd be sitting here.
I never really thought of
How
it
did
until
that
now.
come up? How did that they would put that in?
I think you were the oldest
flattered.
person we could think about.
Yeah, you were literally the oldest person we could think of. That was it.
Tape this because they'll never be back. You traveled to Fort Bliss in El Paso to boot camp before your filming began?
After this.
After the pilot.
So it was when the show got picked up to series. This was the biggest hustle they've ever pulled on us, man.
Why?
They literally,
Smoked
they
us.
call us up. They're like,
Smoked us.
listen, we want to put you through a little bit of a boot camp thing. I assumed that was going to be, I think Jeff and I both assumed that was going to be like, we're going to go someplace.
We had an itinerary.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
set up.
yeah.
Yeah. We were bringing our bathing suits to go sit at the pool.
Yeah, well, we'll do some exercises in the morning. We'll talk to some soldiers. We'll hit the
hands.
bar by 3 in the afternoon. Have a good time, swim. They fly us to Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas.
In August.
Drive us, in frickin' August.
Yeah.
Drive us through, drill Sergeant Gates, rips our bags off, takes everything that could give us any conceivable joy, whether it's a book, our phones, anything. Can't call anyone. Take our phones and make us start doing push-ups for 5 straight days. We stayed in the brig.
For what purpose?
Yeah, thank you.
So that we could understand what it takes, or at least get a taste of what it
Did
takes.
it make you better at what you do?
I think absolutely, yeah. I think we all sort of, first of all, we had to become a team. We were there together, we were crying and bleeding together, and we understood the discipline
Because
required.
El Paso in August is.
It's hot, man.
It's,
It's hot.
yeah, and you do a lot of marching. You just do a lot of wandering.
But they do make sure you drink a lot of water.
Yeah, that's a big
true.
deal.
That's water's
we
big.
Stay hydrated.
The one thing that we all took away from it, Keith David and Angelique Cabral, our co-stars, came with us as well. We all came out of there with a greater appreciation for the men and women that wear the uniform. We don't necessarily agree with everything, the way that we had to do things, and the way that, and some of them don't. You'd say, like, well, why do you have to do this? And they would just say, sometimes they'd say, well, there's a reason for that. And other times they'd say, I don't know, because our commanding officer said to do it, so just do it. And that's not really easy for actors to wrap their head around.
No, it's dumb, but do it.
Yeah, so we had, we came out of there, we met a lot of great people, and they appreciated that. We made the decision amongst ourselves, like, all right, we're here and this sucks, but we're just gonna suck it up and we're gonna do our best. And they appreciated that we didn't quit. And obviously we would not make it, Parker will disagree with this, Chris and I would not make it as real soldiers.
Yeah, if anything, I just learned that, like, if anything, we have a profound respect for the men and women who serve, especially now, and B, there's no way we would be good soldiers.
We could
Is there
absolutely
any
do it.
reason that they can't just do it a little later in the day, is my question?
That
scene.
action
What's wrong with noon?
Was that a tough shoot scene?
Well, we weren't in it. That was all Geoff. How was it,
That's
Jeff?
what you're
Was it tough?
saying,
Yeah,
right.
they always
right.
put the hard stuff on me. It was fun. It was a fun thing to do.
They're not showing a lot of the funny parts of the show. You know,
See, this is Parker feeling left out. Just get used to this.
He feels like
Just
he's
a
the
little bit,
comic
Larry.
relief for the show.
Are you have a problem psychologically with?
Well, I mean, I'm the youngest, and they kind of try to beat me down, I feel like.
The answer is yes. He has plenty of problems psychologically.
Ask him what he's been doing lately. I just found out that he's been spending hours at a time looking at YouTube videos of hawks attacking animals and people.
Falcons, yeah.
Falcons,
Falcons and Eagles.
Why?
Great question.
Larry, we're waiting for this to hear if the show goes to second season, so I've got a lot
I'll
of
tell
time
you
on
the
my
answer,
hands.
because you can only watch porn so much. So you
Right. At a certain point, you got to switch over to
There's
hawks.
something you got
Hawk
to Google.
hunting.
It's cool. It's cool. I mean, picking up deer, that's a big
A
falcon.
hawk can pick up a deer?
Yeah, picking up deer.
He's smoking a lot of weed, too,
I watched
Larry.
these two
Where do you watch
falcons.
this?
YouTube. You just look up, rock climbing videos. I love watching too.
Sure,
But,
sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean,
Do you have a social life?
if we call him and
Yeah,
tell him
if Jeff and I are in town and bored and desperate, then yes, he's got a social
Are
life.
you married?
No.
No, none of us are.
It was just 3 lone bachelors.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. You wanted to be a Navy SEAL?
Yeah, I did.
I don't
looked
picture
up-
Navy SEALs watching rock climbing films.
I disagree. Because I think to become a Navy SEAL,
You have to rock climb?
I think that there's a certain mental focus. You just have to just get over the fear. The rock climbing videos I watch are guys that climb without ropes. And these guys are way up there climbing, and you just have
That's
to...
good to be a Navy SEAL. Yeah, I understand.
having that-
Now I understand Jesse Ventura. Next, just how close are Jeff, Chris, and Parker? We'll find out after the break. We're back with Jeff, Chris, and Parker, still talking about deer.
it's unbelievable.
I think it's cruel and unusual punishment. But my producers looked at your Instagram. You guys have become inseparable in real life. Is that true?
I try, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was entirely orchestrated by one Parker Young, that inseparability.
Chris and I really enjoy being around each other. We also enjoy, our time apart. Parker hasn't gotten, he really hasn't dealt with that
Why
Put it
be
this way.
apart from your family?
There have been
If you can be together.
There have been a number of times. This has happened more than once that Jeff has walked into his own house and found Parker alone and naked.
That's true.
That's all. That's a fact.
Watching.
No,
I wasn't
watching Falcon videos.
I wasn't watching videos.
No, just like looking for milk or just kind of wandering around the
In the
kitchen.
middle of the night, I've been walked up to my kitchen to get something to drink, and he comes walking up. I didn't even know he was in town. And
You
he
told
was
me
not
I
wearing
could. You told me I
pants.
could crash there if I needed a place to stay.
But that's what you tell somebody.
You've had an
Thank
extensive
you.
career, Chris, right?
That's-
You recently wrapped filming on Veronica Mars.
Yes, it was fun, man. It was crazy. The whole film was funded by Kickstarter, so it was like a really alternative way.
Fans funded it.
Exactly, fans. 91,000 people paid $5.7 million, so that got the movie made.
You play a controversial character, right?
Yeah, I basically play the guy who's breaking up the big romance on the show. So my character is not well liked. The name of the character is Stosh Piznarski, so it's the worst name of all time as well, which doesn't help.
Their fans are crazy, though, Veronica fans. Aren't they?
Yeah, there's typically a lot of crying involved when you see a fan, which I don't know if you see people, like a bunch of strangers come up and start crying when they make eye contact.
Oh, you're not
It's a little bit
crying.
jarring.
You're not crying.
You know who's not a fan of Veronica Mars? Parker. He doesn't like when we talk.
No,
he doesn't like when Chris talks about anything but Enlisted.
Yeah,
I just,
Parker
you
gets a
know,
little bent out of shape.
You've had the most roles, right? I think
I'm
of
just
the-
Probably. Well, but
just
that's
been
because
around
Geoff
a
is
little,
35 years older than us.
That's true.
So-
I'm your age.
Exactly.
40.
You don't have a beard in the Army, do you?
No.
Oh, man,
that's
that was
part
a
of the
big-
reason we got sent to boot camp is because his hair was too long and my beard was too long, and they sent us down there to get yelled at for a week.
Which did happen.
Yeah.
A lot of yelling. Because the posts are huge. So not all the soldiers know that we're actors. So we'll be in
We're
the
just
chow
in
hall,
uniform.
and people
Hey.
start coming up and yelling at me to go to the barber, and I'm like, I'm
And
not
there's
supposed
no
to be
time to
here.
explain. Hey, listen, we're doing a silly comedy on Fox. They're like,
Like,
go.
whatever, get out of here right
go.
now.
You always want to be an actor?
What did you want to do first, Parker?
I think it was Navy SEAL, man. I wanted to be in the military.
Where'd you grow up?
Arizona.
What was your first part you ever got paid for? This?
Still waiting for my
No,
check.
what was that? What was that
I did.
dating game you did?
No, that was after.
You did dating game?
Oh man. Well, we call it male prostitution, but dating
There
game's
was
kind
a
of the way we
show-
keep him.
There was a show
afloat.
on ABC called Suburgatory that I was on before this.
We stole him off Suburgatory.
What was your first paid job, Chris?
It was a TV show called Life as We Know It on ABC.
Commercial, actually. Axe body spray.
Good. I'm glad.
Axe
We're talking
body
about
spray.
you
We
still.
moved
That's
on.
fantastic.
We moved on.
But then I realized that it was
Yes.
time to
Yeah. No, it's no big deal.
answer.
You go back a long. Well, you remember your first role?
Everybody Loves Raymond. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played a mailman in the tag, and Everybody Loves Raymond. Still, maybe my favorite job. That was a blast.
What was yours?
Oh, radio show in Miami.
You have a
Radio
good-
show in Miami.
That's where I started.
Yeah. Down in Florida. You from Florida?
Miami's in Florida.
Right. That makes sense. That makes
Very
sense.
hip, Chris.
Yeah, I'm sharp as a tack.
Was your voice always this?
Yeah, it always was. I smoked a lot.
Okay.
Hey, it's my show. I'm asking you
I'm
questions.
sorry.
Right. Sorry. Well, we're gonna
Sorry
turn the
about
tables in a second if you don't keep up with us.
Would you go on The Bachelor?
Absolutely not.
What do
No.
you think of that?
Of The Bachelor?
Yeah.
What a random question. You know, I don't know.
Well, you're a good-looking guy. and-
Thank you.
He is
And
the
I'm
prettiest
single.
of
I need to
us.
get hitched.
He is the
single.
prettiest.
I could use $1 million or
So
whatever.
why
the hell
would
they
you
pay.
not do that? You get all those pretty girls, and you get the pick of the lot.
Yeah,
Have you not seen those girls? They're all crazy.
I feel like they're.
I'm already dating all those girls.
Exactly.
I would do it if it wasn't televised.
Yeah, you are already doing it, and it's not televised. You wish it was televised. You're filming a lot of it, aren't you? God, that's creepy. You are just don't even talk. That's
Look at
just
his
disgusting.
Instagram. Yeah.
Do you still go out on? Well, now this show is in. Do you still audition for other things?
Television, not right now, but film, movies and stuff, I will. I had a Navy SEAL movie audition recently, and that's why I got so obsessed with. I was like, I'm just going to become one so that they can't tell me I'm not the right guy.
You still want to be a Navy SEAL?
I have till I'm 28, so it's still in the back of my mind. I don't think I'm gonna pull the trigger on it.
Why do you want to go underwater and climb ships and do?
I just
things?
respect the mental discipline that it takes to handle that. I just think it's so cool.
You've gotten so close. Do you feel like brothers now?
In a way.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
I mean, do you socialize?
Well, it's the kind of thing where I think we love each other like brothers, and we definitely hate each other like brothers. That's very true.
And all three of us are a brother, so we kind of had that relationship.
have
We
brothers,
all have a brother, so we understood how that we
Larry,
just sort of just seamlessly
Hey, man,
worked.
it's way more fun to pretend that you're brothers than not to. You know, I feel like when
Not
we.
to be a brother.
I guess what I'm saying is.
I don't know where this is going either.
You know, getting to pretend to be brothers, you find out it's more exciting than just being strangers. You know, it's nice to.
I'm not following either.
It's nice to. It's.
How long you been in analysis?
And what?
You know you're diagnosable, right?
Yeah,
That's what
I
he's
do
doing
know.
right now. Okay.
I do.
Well, you are kind of weird, Parker.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of the three, would you be the weird?
I'm the weird. I guess. Yeah, I'm the weird.
I think you're definitely a wild card.
Who's the most mature? You're the oldest.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, but Chris is the most mature.
Yeah,
You're the most mature.
yeah. That ain't saying much. So you can tell we're already.
About 3 days into the
Blind
pilot,
leading the blind.
Chris said to me, "Hey, listen, I owe you an apology. I thought you and Parker were really the same person at first, and now I realize that he's just an idiot."
Yeah.
Well, I was like, I'm not sure if I should say thanks to that.
When we come back, our guests will play a game of If You Only Knew. Stay with us.
Oh boy.
We're back with Geoff Stults, Chris Lowell, and Parker Young. They star in Enlisted, Friday nights, 9 Eastern on Fox. Okay, a little game of If You Only Knew. I just throw out questions.
Let's do it.
First girl you ever kissed?
Jessica Prater.
Jessica Prater. Where was it?
It was on the balcony of a 5th grade birthday party in Green Mountain Falls, Colorado. Best kisser I've ever kissed.
Damn, Jeff, that was great.
Find out whatever happened to her.
Yeah, she had a bunch of kids.
You knew that.
At the time, too, which is weird.
That is weird.
And
they were mine.
Who was yours, Chris?
Ashley Walker, 3rd grade.
Where?
Outside California Pizza Kitchen in the Fountain in Dunwoody. It was badass, dude. Also awesome. French kiss.
Oh, yeah.
3rd grade?
3rd grade. I was moving fast, man. I wasn't wasting time.
Whatever happened to her?
I feel like she moved to Texas, so who knows?
And now, Parker, your first kiss.
It was me.
It was Geoff Stults. It was a girl named Kelly, spelled K-E-L-E-I-G-H, and it was on a Disney cruise.
A Disney
She was
cruise?
3 years older than me, yeah.
How old were you?
Gosh, I think I was
28.
14. She was
14?
She was 17, yeah.
That was a late start
17.
for you,
It was
Parker.
late. That was a real kiss. It was like it was like a.
It was pretty
It was a
hot.
real
I mean,
kiss.
those
She taller
Disney
than you,
cruises.
too?
That's
No,
just-
she was a gymnast, so she was short. you know.
right.
I can just picture
You, yeah.
What happened
Looking
to
up
her?
to Kelly.
You know, I don't know. I don't know what happened to her.
Okay,
Wait,
Parker.
now, whoa, who was your first kiss?
Yeah.
Corinne.
Corrine?
She was taller than me.
Nice.
Yeah, I was 8th grade.
Sweet. All right, cool.
Corinne, don't remember her last name. Why are you asking me?
I'm loving it.
Somebody should look this up. Let's get Corinne on the line.
I need to get a fact checker on this. I want to find this Korean.
If Jeff was stranded on a desert island, what 3 things would he bring with him?
Beer
Okay. Porn.
or a girl.
Sure, fine. Oh, the real thing.
Porn, girl, or some sort of.
Jeff, who's Chris's dream co-star?
Anybody but Parker and Jeff.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
No.
No, anyone but Parker. You're you're not on that list.
Chris, what was Jeff's most embarrassing moment on set?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. Probably. Jeff cries more than you'd expect.
Yeah, I'm a crier.
I don't know if that's embarrassing though. That's kind of
Cries at
impressive.
like what?
At YouTube videos of falcons.
No. Those
that's
are
when-
cool videos.
That's when Parker sobs. But yeah,
Why don't you wear your green sweater, by the way? I mean, gray sweater.
Yeah,
We'll talk about this later, but.
we're gonna talk. Parker wanted to wear matching sweaters today because
And I couldn't find
he thinks he lives in Xanadu.
If he was in the army, what kind of soldier would he be?
He's a great soldier. He's very laid back.
What about Jeff? What about Chris?
Oh, Chris, he would leave. He would find a way to get kicked
AWOL.
out.
Yeah, definitely AWOL.
Tattoo
Yeah,
his face.
AWOL Lowell.
What kind of soldier would Parker be?
Parker would be the best. He would be a super soldier. It's true. It's true.
Either that or he'd be the first guy code redded.
Yeah, that's right. That's
What's
right.
code red?
What's code ready?
Where they
He would be the one who's
blanket
like,
party where they wake up in the middle of the night and beat the shit out of him.
yeah, right.
Just because he made them do, because he
Because he
tries
was
too hard.
asking
Yeah,
his drill sergeant to give them more push-ups.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
Jeff, we're trying to think for each other. Jeff, what's the one thing Chris can't live without?
His camera.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, you are a
Oh,
photographer?
he's a great
Yeah,
photographer.
Great photographer.
Still shooting on film, Larry. Old
Really?
school.
Chris, one thing Jeff can't live without.
Parker Young.
Oh, yeah.
Can't live without Parker.
Got to be nude at his house, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
What was your first
to call that
impression
right.
of Parker when you met him, Jeff?
There was something about him when he first came in and read that I did feel like he needed to be hugged.
You already had the part, right?
Yeah. And it was like he came in. Chris, clearly we wanted because he was so good. Parker, I just kind of felt like, I feel like I need to sit this kid down and hug him a little bit.
Yeah,
I felt
sort of a
lost.
charity
I don't
case
think I
situation.
ever got that hug.
You want to get married?
Yeah. I want to have a couple of athletes.
Ever come close?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Really not close.
I've been in long-term relationships, but I haven't been close to getting married yet.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm into it.
Now, or are you with someone now?
Well, I mean, let's not pry, all right? Listen, I feel like I'm in the
Pry?
hot seat now.
Are you dating anyone
I
seriously?
mean, there may or may not be a certain lover of mine who I'm very
$5,
interested
I'll
in.
tell you.
What's her name?
Her name's Carrie. Carrie Ann Moss. Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah, we know her whole name now.
Yeah.
What does she do?
She's a Olympic gymnast.
Are you in love with her?
Just head over heels.
Well, with a gymnast, you can be.
Hey!
Oh, Larry.
Oh, yeah. Parker, are you involved with anyone?
That's a great question.
You have? What's her name?
Her name is Stephanie.
And
This
how
is a big
serious-
deal.
This is huge.
It's a girl that I've been off and on with since high school.
Which, bear in mind, was only 6 months ago. So
Yeah,
that's,
so
you know,
it's
it's
not
not
that
the
big.
craziest
Well,
commitment.
when you go off, what causes you to go off?
At first, it was the
too?
long distance. She was back in Arizona, and I was in LA. And I keep trying to be off.
But you love her. You keep going back.
It's like The Godfather 3. Every time he thinks he's out,
Yes.
pulls him back
What
in.
does she do?
She designs swimwear.
She could do that in L.A.
She actually moved to LA. Yeah.
So now you're together.
Now we're together, but it's not a traditional Orthodox.
In
like,
what way?
relationship. Like, you know, marriage and monogamy and all that. I'm still
So you
struggling.
see others, she sees others. You're in love with her. She designs swimwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you're run of the mill.
This is great. Keep
This is
going.
please keep trying. This makes me happy.
Do you get jealous when she sees someone else?
Well,
Don't lie to Larry King.
I absolutely would be jealous. Luckily for me, at least as far as I know, she isn't interested so much in
In other people.
do you date other people?
I don't date other people.
So you keep saying you see other people, but now neither of you do.
It's kind of like if we decide we want to go out and have a beer
Smoked right
and talk to
literally
girls,
getting
I can
smoked.
do that without feeling like, oh, I'm being a bad.
see.
This is
It's
what
just-
this
it's
is
just
what
sort of-
being on trial feels like, by the way.
No,
so you
it's
know.
good. It's
You're not going to do good. Don't go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not going to have you as a
This
witness.
was an intriguing hour. We'll have you back,
Hey, we
Thanks a
want to
lot,
come
Larry.
back. Thank you.
unless you come up with AIDS jokes again.
Well, that's true.
did
I thought you
that.
said AIDS.
That was
at
this
first.
one. That
I
was
like,
this
I didn't
one.
do any AIDS
You
jokes.
said the AIDS joke about me.
That was you. That
was me.
Parker.
You'll never.
But now bear in mind, it's not a joke. He's just
He's never met anybody over 40.
Larry, I was nervous and like.
Oh, come on.
I was.
A big thanks to my guests, Chris Stults, Geoff Stults. I've got to eat the bread now. Geoff Stults, Chris Lowell, and Parker Young. Their show Enlisted, Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central on Fox. You can always find me on Twitter at King's Things, and I'll see you next time.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks so much, my friend. I really appreciate it.